the irony about casting Anya Taylor-Joy as Sandy is that she was the first actor that I ever told about the movie, long before the first draft existed. When I met her in 2015, I'd just seen her in her debut movie, The Witch, because I was on the jury of the Sundance Film Festival that year. So I met her in Los Angeles afterwards. I hadn't planned to tell her the whole story of Last Night in Soho, but I did. And so she's sitting there opposite me having coffee going, oh wow, she goes, that sounds amazing. I want to be part of that. And the irony is that I was initially thinking about her playing the part of Eloise. And because I just saw her in The Witch and said, she's the perfect person to be the Eloise character in Last Night in Soho. So that was what I thought about as the next couple of years went by. I made another film. And then when I was starting to write Last Night in Soho with Krysty Wilson-Cairns, the character of Sandy was getting bigger. It was so, as we started to write, we started to expand the Sandy scenes, both in terms of how many of them there were, how much dialogue there was in those scenes, and it became clear to me that Anya should be playing that part. And also because it gives her a chance to light up the screen in a way that if she was that person coming to London and Sandy walked into the Café de Paris and did that dance number, or walked into the Rialto Club and sang that song on stage, like any smart person in the room is saying, that lady's a star. Anya has this really timeless quality to her that you think that she could be a movie star in now. She could be a movie star in the 60s. She could have been a movie star in the 20s. You know, she could have been a silent movie star. There was something about that idea that started to become really intriguing. So then when I finished the screenplay, having told her about it now for like 3.5 years, then I said, hey, guess what? I've written a draft of Last Night in Soho and I'm sending it to you. But I do not want you to look at the character of Eloise. I'd like you to look at the character of Sandy. So I was a bit nervous about that because I was hoping that she wouldn't say, oh, I'm not playing the lead anymore. But she read the script, said, I love the script and I would love to play Sandy. And I said, great.
Miss Collins?
Yes?
It's Ellie. We spoke on the phone.
Oh, yes. Room is on the top floor. Have a few rules. Don't take smokers.
I don't smoke.
No male visitors after 8 o'clock.
Not a problem.
And no using the laundry room at night. It rattles right through to mine.
I don't do laundry.
Aye?
I mean, I don't do nighttime laundry. I do laundry. I'm very clean.
Once I decided that Anya should play Sandy and not Eloise, then suddenly it was an open brief. It's like, who is going to play Eloise? And it was actually my producer, Naira Park, who was the first person who mentioned Thomasin McKenzie. And I had seen her in Deborah Granick's Leave No Trace, in which she is incredible, playing Ben Foster's daughter. Such a naturalistic performance that it wasn't something where I wasn't sure, is that a non-actor? Is she an actress? From watching the film, she so completely disappears into that role. I didn't have any sense of that somebody was playing that part. I totally and utterly invested in her character on screen. So then when her name came up, I was like, oh, she played the daughter in Leave No Trace. Well, she's incredible. And I said, how old is she? And, we figured out that she would be exactly 18 when we made the movie, which is exactly the same age as Eloise in the script. So I met Thomasin McKenzie in Los Angeles, and I mean, she's not dissimilar to Eloise in a sense, in terms of she's such a warm, empathetic, kind person. And I guess when I met her, my first thought was that, oh my God, am I really going to put her through this story? So actually one of my first questions was because she said, oh, I love the script. And I said, was there anything that made you feel nervous about shooting? And she said no. She later said in an interview that was a mistake. But I'm so glad that she's in the movie, because I feel one of the real strengths of it is that you get to go on the journey with her. And there's something really powerful about casting somebody who's the same age as the character. Because as Eloise is going from the country to London and on this kind of incredible odyssey, like Thomasin was also doing that by coming back from New Zealand to London to sort of like be in a movie where also we're shooting in a lot of the real locations. So it's a very like visceral experience for her. And Thomasin is one of those actresses who is incredibly naturalistic and wants to feel the experience as strongly as she can. So she really has to put herself in that mindset. And I guess in a way she was able to kind of like sort of like, I know this sounds crazy, but she was really able to be in the story. And I was really impressed watching her, especially somebody of that age, to have such skill and to be in a movie where you're in every single scene. She's the lead of the movie and there's not a scene that she's not in. That's not easy to do, and she pulled it off with aplomb. So I was just sort of amazed at watching her like essentially run this marathon by being in the movie. And I think you experience so much of the movie through her on every level that you needed somebody incredibly special to pull that off.